Well, this week, Country Liberal Party Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa Price led the one half of the opposition with backbone, the Nats, to take a stand against the voice to Parliament. The Liberal Party, who are sticking to their kind of Labor-light bedwetting thing about, oh, let's see the details. Ugh. No such luck. Jacinta joins me now. Thank you, Senator Price. So great to see you. You've had a bit of a week, haven't you? How are you bearing up?
Oh, the week's not over yet. Still here, sitting in chambers, so hopefully not much longer for today at least, but it sure has been a week of trials and tribulations and achievements and many lessons learned.
Well, I was immensely proud to see you there, speaking without notes, speaking from the heart, with all those colleagues of yours in the National Party behind you, standing there, giving you that physical, visual, optical support that I've been crying out for. And you might remember at CPAC I did say, where is the Conservative side of politics getting physically, literally, as well as in other ways, behind Jacinta Price. You've received criticism, though, from some of your more woke colleagues in Parliament, claiming your views on the voice fail to truly represent Indigenous communities. This is the inner city mob, the Gucci wearers. I think you pointed out that it was Prada, but that was a nice insight. You've also had people like Ken Wyatt saying, oh, no, the detail is there. You've had Noel Pearson launch a pretty nasty attack on you and David, who I've now redubbed Much to be Proud of for standing behind you. Surely doesn't this just prove the point that there is not just one Indigenous point of view? Every Indigenous person has their own individual take on life, and you can't just have a body that's so-called, that's it, it's a blanket Indigenous voice.
That's exactly right, and that's the point I guess I've been trying to make, is that it's a racial stereotype to suggest that we might all think the same and that, you know, we have to get each other's permission or, you know, speak on behalf of each other. I don't know, you know, that, you know, white people in this country say, you know, I speak on behalf of these white fellas or those white fellas, or that, you know, Asian Australians say, I speak on behalf of this, you know, these Asian people, or, you know, Asian people in general. It's just not done the other way around. But there's a continuation of this racial stereotype that that's how we're supposed to think and feel and act and deliver outcomes for Aboriginal Australians. Separated again. I mean, the ABC are doing it. I had an interview on the radio this afternoon, and they kept doing it to me, saying, well, we spoke to an Aboriginal person in this community and they disagreed with you. And I'm like, well, of course they are. And oh, you've got the opinion of yet another academic from Melbourne, from inner city Melbourne, who's being paid, you know, however many dollars to run this narrative and run this line. And you know, like it's some sort of surprise. And I'm like, how about the ABC go and, you know, get some opinions of those who don't support it and take that up to Linda Burney or take it up to Noel Pearson or somebody else? Like, they never actually respect us as individuals in our own right, with a debate, with an argument, with concerns. It's like, oh, here's Jacinta Price, you know, again, she's going off, she's being disrespectful, or she doesn't have, you know, the support of the Aboriginal community. And it's like, we don't do it to any other Australians, but it's done to us, to Aboriginal Australians, which is why the voice is so wrong, because of those principles.
And also, Jacinta, I know they don't teach languages very much in our schools anymore, but the word parliament derives its name from the French word parler, which means to speak. It's about a voice. Parliament is, in the Westminster system, the voice of the people. The astonishing success of 11 Indigenous Australians who have fought hard. I know the battles you've been through, and I'm sure, even though I disagree politically with people like Lydia Thorpe, I respect her immensely for having got all the way into Parliament, and whether you like her actions or not, the point is she's there in Parliament speaking aloud, using her voice in Parliament, which is where voices belong. If you set up a rival body, all you are doing, which speaks on behalf of Indigenous Australians, you will have only one outcome. And this really disturbs me, and that is to disempower, to remove the voices of those 11 Indigenous individuals in Parliament, those parliamentarians. So those Indigenous individual parliamentarians no longer have a voice because the struggle you have put through into getting into Parliament, getting your voice heard, counts for nothing because it's just going to be an unelected body over here appointed from whatever, or from whatever communities, but not the voice of Parliament. What do you make of that?
That's exactly right. I mean, they're already doing it to me. It's just, I just find it so hypocritical when Penny Wong stands up on the floor of the Senate and talks about what they are going to do, for First Nations people in this country, and that the voice is about ensuring that people are heard. And I'm like, hello, is anyone else hearing me? I'm here on the floor of the Senate, along with my fellow colleagues, along with Lydia Thorpe. We've gone through a rigorous process, democratic process, to be able to be elected to this Parliament. We're connected to our communities. We're hearing what's going on the ground in our communities. I mean, this whole concept is suggesting that the democracy that we have isn't working, isn't capable of serving Aboriginal Australians, because we're special needs. We're a special needs bunch that needs some other provisions that we don't even have detail on. And look, Ken Wyatt can say that there's detail there, but why isn't there? Why is it as clear as mud? Why is it that this government aren't coming forward to say, well, this, and this, and this? There's none of that. And again, I have to remind Mr. Wyatt that he wanted to legislate this voice, not put it in the Constitution. That's the road we were going down. It was about recognition. Yep. And it was about legislating this other concept. But now it's evolved into this whole mess, really, and nobody knows exactly what it is, but still people want to support the concept of it. And, we're actually dealing with lives here. You can't go run on a feel-good feeling. We have to actually use our heads, because when we just are led by our feelings, that's a recipe for absolute disaster. And yeah, it just blows my mind that I can be attacked constantly and told that I don't speak on behalf of all Aboriginal people. Well, neither does Noel Pearson, neither does Ken Wyatt. And exactly. Neither do the white fellas on the chamber of the Senate speak for all white Australians.
Absolutely.
It's just ridiculous. It's ludicrous.
Jacinta Price, it's so great to chat to you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Keep up the fight. Millions of Australians are behind you, as were the Nationals. Always great to see you.